What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Real Estate Virgins podcast. If you're new here and you're a real estate agent looking for tips, tricks, interviews with top producing agents from top producing agents, you're in the right place. My name is Jordan Brown at Jordan Sells ATX on Instagram, here with my buddy, John Michael Perez.
What's up, guys?
Reporting from our brand new podcast studio.
Oh my gosh, this is interesting for sure.
Definitely different.
I hope it works out.
Yeah, same here, right? Yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting few weeks. We are in full force of Q4. You know, a lot of people are talking about the slowdown that they normally experience in Q4, and we're making big changes. It's a lot of risk taking, a lot of doubling down, making smart business decisions, and this is, I think, one of them. We loved our time over at Pouch 6 Studios.
Amazing guys.
Fantastic crew that they have. You've seen the quality, you've seen the content. We love everything about them. This was just better for us because John and I are going to really focus on this podcast. And for us to do that, we had to make a decision as far as the travel time, the scheduling. Certain things weren't lining up with like certain guests. We have to cancel quite a bit just because of conflicting schedules. Like by the time they would get back to us, that spot was already taken. Little things like that. But absolutely fantastic time.
Well, you and I mean, let the audience know, you and I live minutes away from each other. So it's just so much more convenient. We can literally record anytime we want. We can record 5 times a day.
Yeah.
You know?
You guys have no idea what time we're recording right now. And that's the best part.
Yeah, that's true.
But is it midnight? Is it 7 p.m.? Is it 3 a.m.? You don't know.
I will say, I'll give a hint. This is the latest we've ever recorded.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So this is a semi-test. If it works, let's do it. Let's release it. But
yeah, I mean, we're so excited to really get into this. Like we're taking this very seriously because we see the value in it, and we want to continue making fantastic content for our listeners and providing value. It's been since the inception. I will not lie. Every single time that we would book something and it would be the day of, I would get like a slight degree pissed that I was going to have to deal with Austin traffic. You know what I mean?
True, yeah.
And then having to be like, okay, I know that it's going to take me about 50 minutes to get down there and about an hour and a half to get back if it's in prime time traffic.
Yeah.
So this is so much better because it took me 5 minutes to get here as opposed to, a 2.5 hour round trip adventure.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that traffic's brutal. And the thing is like, just we're focusing on more convenience and efficiency, right? And so if we can record ASAP, we're going to do it. And the only thing is, I will say, like, transparency, it might be a little more inconvenient for some of our guests to come all the way up here.
For sure. I was thinking about that because we have a lot of people that are like in Austin proper.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have to come to us if they want to be on the pod, unfortunately.
Yeah, but there's a lot of, we have a decent sized audience. So, I mean, it's value to them to drive 25 minutes to get.
And plus, like now, like we're not having to eat the cost of that as well. Like we did the upfront cost, and now we can continue to do this for a very long time.
Yes.
And not have to worry about, not having a sponsor or not charging guests, things like that.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We didn't really do a proper intro for.
Take it away.
So, guys, welcome to the Real Estate Virgins podcast, where we are here to elevate your business, take your business to the next level. We're not just agents that are talking the talk. We're agents that are walking the walk, and we're actually doing things. Especially recently, man, we've been going hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you especially, dude. Jeez.
Hey, man, it's so funny. I was thinking about it on the way over here how a few months ago, I was sad sacking on the podcast. And it was me just being like, I've got nothing going on. And I'm pretty happy with the way that things have gone the last couple months.
Contract.
Two closings in the last week. Another one under contract today. So my belly is full of celebratory torchies. My heart is full of gratitude for my clients, and my mind has peace.
Nice.
So, at least for right now.
Yeah.
So I'm in a good spot.
I had torchies yesterday. It was
So
super
good.
good. Oh, man. Anytime I eat torchies, I'm like, I think of you because you love torchies.
I'm a fiend, man. Like
Yeah.
they don't have a tier of the rewards high enough for the level that I'll go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, so I had a recent client it was really cool. Okay, so I'm a part of this business fraternity. I won't say the name, but I was actually thinking about maybe putting a pause on it. And the day I was going to put a pause on it, I got a referral from it. It was a $750,000 house.
How funny.
I know. And so now I'm working with those clients. I tell the those guys, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to put a pause on that for that business.
Let's keep that going.
You know, right? But it's cool because these clients are motivated. They're already pre-approved, and they did just tell me like, hey, maybe not that house that I showed them, but I know that they're ready to buy, and it's just exciting because you never know where the next lead is going to come from, you know, as long as you're consistent.
Yeah, it's all about having enough of your lines in the bay, right?
Yeah.
Like you got to keep casting and trying things. You can't not be trying stuff and then get mad whenever you don't have, you know, leads coming in or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
Or when things aren't working, you give up on them really quickly. That's not the way to do it. Some things take a lot of time to develop into stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as a real estate agent, a lot of real estate agents, they think, okay, you know what, I'm going to try this for a few days. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to go to the next thing, right? When in reality, a lot of agents that are succeeding are doing the same thing for a long period of time, and sometimes they don't get results from it. But like for me, I haven't gotten a result from that particular business fraternity, we'll call that, for 6 to 8 months, but it's finally been worth it. I pay $400 a month to be a part of that.
Yeah. And so now if this client when they close,
yeah,
it's going to more than pay for that time.
Yeah, it's like
that
a
you
$26,000 commission,
Yeah.
you know?
So yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm doing paid leads for the first time and I'm getting, you know, actual conversations out of them.
Really?
That's one really nice thing about this lead source I talked about on the last pod. If you want to hear it, you got to go listen. It's been cool because it's different. I'm very skeptical of paid leads. I think I've been burned by the Z company. I've been burned by the G company and the FB company. And so
and the K company and the
so whenever someone comes at me with a paid lead source or a recommendation, I take it with a grain of salt. I don't really expect much.
Yeah.
This is the first one. I put like $1,000 in this month towards leads, and I'm actually having conversations with people that are in this lead funnel.
Dang.
Which is cool.
People in that Facebook group swear by it.
Yeah.
I've noticed several, but what sucks is like if enough people start,
it's starting to catch on.
Yeah.
I 100%. I'm starting to see it like in the masterminds. People are talking about it more and more. They're bringing up the name, and every time that I post it in one of those with my referral link, I'm almost like sure, I'll get like a very tiny referral fee, but I'm also making this thing gain awareness. And like, what if, I don't know, trying to not have scarcity mindset about it, but because I want people to succeed.
Then again, one cool thing about that is that you are purchasing a percentage of a certain area, right?
Yeah.
And so you'll always have that percentage if you continue to pay it per month.
Yeah. So unless someone's coming to like absolutely rock the market and take all the market share of every surrounding city, there's opportunity there.
Yeah.
At least for now.
Yeah, that's true.
At least for now, until everyone buys it up.
So if you want to check that lead source out, go to the last episode.
Episode.
It was the last
where
episode.
It was.
Yeah. You've been working with a decent amount of buyers lately, huh?
It's all I want to work with right now, honestly.
For sure. Where are you getting those leads from?
It's having a bunch of different lines in the water, right? I have one that I got from a referral from a relocation client that I closed earlier this year. He's my one that I got under contract today. He is, Aaron, our lender partner, referred to him as the golden goose. He has like a 12% debt to income ratio. He has money in the bank, 800 plus credit score, healthy budget. Financials are fantastic. He's like, if I can get 20 more of this guy, we'll be set.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So that's one was referrals. Another one I've been working, the one I just closed the most recently, I've been working on her for 9 months, you know? So it's a tale of two different things. Like this referral that I've got, I've worked on for 2 weeks and I've got them under contract. The most recent closing, 9 months and until it closed.
Yeah.
So there's not like a one size fits all. The same story isn't going to apply to every client. But I don't give up on things. I think that's the difference, is that I'm willing to see them through, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
I keep up with people. I stay in their lives. I stay relevant to them. I stay providing value. 2 closings ago was an old coworker of mine, and check this out. This is a cool story for me personally. I took this, like, this hit me so heavy, just with the gratitude that I felt from this. She was an old coworker of mine. We would always talk about real estate whenever I was getting my license and I was working at the corporate location I've talked about for a long time. and she's probably like top 3 sweetest humans I've ever met, like just second to my mom probably. And she has a realtor friend who is her like her son's godparent, who's a realtor, and she went with me over him. And that made me feel like just over the moon. Made me feel 10 feet tall, because that was such a great endorsement. And I told her, I said, like I was kind of tearing up. I was like, that means so much to me. Like you allowing me the opportunity to help you over someone who you trust with your grandchild's life, or with your child. I can't remember which exact level it was. That means a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like I did justice for her. Her review was glowing. And now I've got a really happy client who is referring me business. And that's just how it goes.
That's huge, man.
And yeah, so I started talking to her 3 years ago about buying a house.
Yeah.
And I just...
So some of you guys out there that are complaining about leads that aren't working overnight, like, don't worry.
It could be that you're just giving up too soon.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah.
You could be dropping leads when they don't turn out to be interested that month.
Yeah.
People's timing is different. My timing, I want to close tomorrow, but guess what? That's not always going to happen with every single client that you have.
Yeah, there's this certain state of urgency but patience, right, as an agent, because you want to be urgent at a certain time, but at the same time you want to make sure that you're patient and not pushing it too much. Hey, I've got a story actually real quick. This buyer recently, I got a lead from a lead source that is a networking group, and I was under the assumption that he was urgently wanting to put an offer in, right? And so I call the listing agent. I try to get this good deal. I'm trying to be super proactive, and I bring a really good deal to that client, and he sort of goes ghost on me for like, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I just felt like a distance, right?
Yeah.
And then I had a conversation with him the following day, and he was like, hey, man, I'm not in that much of a hurry, right? And so that's on me, because I didn't create those expectations accurately from the very beginning, due to the fact that I knew he had another agent he was talking to, right? Right. And so I was trying to just show so much value.
Well, you're trying to show like that you're eager to help them.
Yes. Yeah.
That you want this business.
Yeah.
So that's a delicate line. How did it end up going? Like, what's the experience been like since then?
Well, I got lucky because his friend gave me the praises, right? He was like, dude, you've got to work with John Michael. You have to, like, don't work with anybody else. And then I find out this other agent that he was considering working with is just a part-time agent, right? And so that's scary, in my opinion, because this agent isn't even selling houses. Like, well, I mean, it's not a bad thing to be a part-time agent, guys, but
But there's something to be said that when you're dealing with a full-time agent who is dedicated to this, there's a difference.
Yeah.
There really is. I felt it in my business. When I was part-time, I got part-time results. When I went full-time, I got full-time results.
Yeah. And so this agent that they were considering hiring, he may have not known like certain things that would protect them at the highest capacity. And so I'm glad that they ended up working with me. Hopefully everything still goes good. We haven't closed on a house, but that's just one story. I did build a really good rapport though with his significant other, and I was like, I was showing her memes while I was showing houses. She was, but yeah, okay.
It's kind of funny. So funny enough, there's a dynamic that happens where you can see who has the purchasing decision, like who holds the power within. If you're dealing with a couple, my one that I just got under contract, for example. It's only him that's buying the property. He's the only one that's on the loan. It's his money, everything like that. But the girlfriend has a lot of say and sway in what he does. We've looked at a handful of houses, and there's nothing wrong with this, right? It's not my house. I don't have to live there. They have to be happy with it. But I also had to recognize that he really values her opinion. And so
it's crazy because my clients too, same thing.
Yeah. I can't just focus on selling him. I've got to figure out what she likes too.
Yeah.
And what they can both get. And it was like a HGTV episode where they have differing opinions on what they like. She likes a little more boxy. He loved open concept.
That's
And
like
I'm
our mutual friend Andrew and Brittany.
yes. And I'm like, how the hell am I going to find something that appeals to both of you?
Yeah.
But we found it. And
That's
so it was cool because this is I'm always amazed by, I have to stop. And I think this is a lesson for realtors out there is you got to stop selling out of your own pocket and based on what you like.
Dude,
Because
I did that so much starting when I first got into real
well,
estate.
it's easy to do. It's all you know. It's all you have to go off of. But I get reminded over and over that not everyone's looking for a modern black, white, gray, updated, renovated home that I would look for.
Yes.
Some people want a project. Some people want something that needs a little love that they can put their fingerprints on.
Yeah.
And so I'm always a little bit surprised by that. But it's a super cool adventure, and we found something that appeals to both of them, and hopefully we close on it because they were.
I love that you said that because I had a big problem because I was broke. I was a broke growing up, right? And so I would be an agent that would almost buy from the perspective of a broke kid, right? And so like, I'm gonna try to get you a good deal on this, this, and that, and this, and some of these buyers are like, I don't really care, I just want a house, you know?
Yeah.
Or like always try to get them to do 0 down programs like USDA and stuff like that. I don't really need USDA.
That was me, right? Because I bought a house with a 0 down program, so I'm like, hey, you don't have to pay anything, and they're like, we're good, brother. Like, we're okay.
I know, yeah.
I'm like, oh, so you're not as broke as I was.
Yes,
Cool.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's so true. I'm glad that you brought that up.
Well, there's just always lessons to be learned. I don't think you ever get to a point where you stop learning. You learn different things about certain sets of clients. You get reminded of lessons that you've maybe forgotten about. Each one has its own little thumbprint, or its own unique identity to that transaction. Things that you will never have. You never will have 2 transactions that are the exact same.
Oh, 1,000%.
There's different problems. There's different expectations. There's different money involved. There's different programs. There's different likes and interests and dislikes. It's all different. And that's why, on my first team, she had been in the business for 11 years, and she said she's never once had 2 transactions the same, and she's always learning. Someone who's been in it for over a decade has continued to learn and adapt to the changing marketplace.
Yeah, for sure. I've been meeting up with a lot of new agents lately, and they're just like, man, what's going on? And I'm just like, focus on buyers, focus on lead generating, and you'll be okay. You know?
If you're a new agent, one thing that I'm learning is a lot of agents don't want to be in jeopardy on compliance stuff. And so what I mean by that is they're worried about the wrong things. They're worried about things that like what a 9-to-5 would be worried about. They're worried about email signatures. They're worried about their documents being like templated correctly. Yep. And that's good to have. Don't make it what you focus on, because if you have all that done, that's great. But if you've got no clients to facilitate that with, it's useless.
Yeah.
Like focus on getting clients from day one. Because you're in the business of lead generation. You're not selling houses, homes, or anything. You are in a marketing and lead generation business.
Ooh. And the thing is 5 to 6 months later, they get their license. They're like, where's my business? And they're like, well, you focused on your email signature and your business cards and to make sure that they were perfect, when in reality, you didn't lead generate at all.
Yeah. What you're doing right now is going to be your results typically 3 months from now.
I would say set up a schedule on a daily basis to work maybe at the beginning of the day on your business, and then towards the middle / end work in your business, and in would be lead generating, and then on would be, email signatures, stuff like that, compliance, stuff like that. Or, switch it up, right? You can make your own schedule, but especially like you're good at scheduling and sticking pretty close to that schedule, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I was late to an agent meeting for someone on our team. I was like, I completely forgot about it. I forgot to put it in my phone
today,
which no. This was like a couple weeks back.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was so embarrassed because I pride myself on how or like if I'm scheduled at 12, I'm there at like 11:55.
Was this with Deanna?
It was.
Oh,
Yeah. I told her I was going to meet with her at Red Horn to go over some stuff. Oh, no. And she's sitting there. She texted me. She said, "Hey, I'm inside." I was like, "Inside where?" I'm sitting there meal prepping at my house. And I was like,
did you just stop
I
everything?
was like, "Oh shit."
What happened?
I told Katie, I was like, "Hey, can you like, would you mind finishing?" Because I was mid meal making. And I was like, "Hey, like, I'm sorry. I completely forgot about this." Luckily, Katie isn't working now. So she was able to take that over. She didn't have to go do something else.
Yeah.
And it all worked out. And I was about half an hour late, which hurts my pride because I'm super prideful about like me being tactful.
Yeah. If we can get this episode out by tomorrow morning before our power hour, guys, if you're listening, this will probably, maybe, I'm not 100% sure because this is all new to us, but Suman Kim will be on our power hour. I guess if you're listening to it tomorrow, it would be today at 11 a.m.
Yeah. Hey, we've been telling y'all. I mean, we've been saying it. If you've been listening and you have maybe not thought about joining Power Hour or don't know what to expect, I mean, we're getting heavy hitters on there. Suman Kim is a $144 million producing man within 2 years in a brand new market. If you don't want to hear what he has to say, Power Hour is not for you anyway.
Power Hour, 11 a.m.
Yep.
You know what? I'll make a clip of this and post it tonight.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, Suman Kim brings so much value, and also like he's just a machine, man. Like he's doing things that are like unheard of, unbelievable. And if you have a chance, jump on 11 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Yep. And Suman's cool because he's accomplished what many people don't accomplish in their careers in 2 years, and he's still going.
He's accomplished more than a lot of agents have accomplished in 10 years.
Yeah. And their whole careers. Like
in their whole entire career in 2 years.
Yeah. And he's still going.
It's insane.
Still growing, still putting back time into his team, which I think is really cool. I think that's one thing that I'm really fortunate to report is I don't like when things are chalked up to be a certain way and then I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
And I think this transition for us has been really fruitful.
Mm-hmm.
And also just everything that I was told, it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like getting to collaborate and have access to top producers, having tools to be able to sit down and make a game plan for my business.
Yeah.
Those are all really important things that not a lot of people get.
I'm hoping having this studio is going to help us put out more content and courses and stuff like that to add more value to other agents. That's just me being transparent. I probably shouldn't be saying this on the air, but I really want to put as much value as possible to you guys. And then also a small note is I think you and I have been talking about doing less power hours.
Yeah. And it's a very strategic and thought out thing because we're realizing that we talk a lot of value with our guests here. That's value there. But trying to have new, fresh stuff to talk about on a tactical level is becoming very taxing on us because we've got our own business that we've got to run too. We have a team that we need to develop. Yeah. And I think what this is going to do is kind of what John's alluding to is we're talking about maybe cutting down the frequency of Power Hour. We don't know what exactly that's going to look like. If it's going to be every other week, once a month, not sure. We're going to figure that out. But we're there we want to continue to provide value, but not at the expense of us losing sight of our immediate team.
Yeah.
Because
we're trying to add value to our immediate team as much as possible. Yeah. And so it's a little bit
taxing. It's only natural that that's how it needs to be, right?
Yeah. But the thing is market's shifting, right? And so we're really trying to analyze like where are we putting our time and how efficient is it, right? And so this is why we have a new studio. Is like it's going to give us hours upon hours of more time, right? And then we can focus more on the agents that are partnering with us.
Yeah.
Even more, you know?
Yep. So if that's something of interest to you, I know a few of our listeners have reached out about it. We are absolutely taking on new members to our team. I think the brand new agents that are on our team would tell you and go to bat for us that we are hands-on. We're as available as they need us to be. And I don't think you get that in a lot of places.
Yeah. And it's not a traditional team too. It's like, we're not taking money from them.
Correct. The cool thing is that when you partner with us, you get us with no extra costs out of your pocket.
Isn't that cool?
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So cool. if you're, I don't know, the Q4 is typically a transitional phase. It's when people slow down, they start analyzing their business on a backed out macro scale. So if you're analyzing your business and you don't think that you're in a place where you're getting everything that you need, we'd love to talk with you and just talk about how we can help with your business.
Yeah, and try to just, give you as much valuable information and be extra accountable and just we've done it. We've sold a lot of houses, and we'd love to help you sell a lot of houses too,
Because I can't imagine. I was just having this conversation with a brand new agent in my neighborhood. I was talking about she's a brand new agent, and what an interesting time to be brand new. Because right now it's not exactly ideal for anybody. It's not ideal for sellers. It's not ideal for buyers. We're kind of in this interesting middle ground of ambiguity and not knowing where things are going to go. And so if you don't have that kind of guidance, I think that can be really detrimental to your development.
Yeah.
I do. And that's where we come in. If you're a brand new agent, we're willing to do the work to be available for you and be resources. And if you're a experienced agent and you're just looking for a strategic partnership, we're here as well. I think there's benefits to both sides, producing and brand new agents.
I 100% agree. A little bit aligned with this, as of recently, I've had to get rid of a lot of negative people in my life, just full transparency. And I noticed that it was exactly aligned with some of the results that I was seeing in my life. And it's just crazy how fast and easy it is to let negativity seep into your life and you not even realize it. And then it just slowly affects over time, slowly affects your results and how you feel, how you come home, how you treat people, even how you treat your clients and not even realizing it, right? And so it's just like drinking poison, just little bit over little bit over little bit. And then you're like 5 months later, you're like, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
And
So there's a really weird analogy that I'm going to make here, and I think we've talked about it before. But negativity is like the fishbowl. If you're a shark and a fishbowl is really small, and you put a shark in there, and you're surrounded by negativity, a very small fishbowl, the shark will not grow. In fact, it only grows to the size of the fishbowl.
yeah.
But if you widen the negativity away from you, drop a shark in the ocean, it will grow as big as it needs to. It grows to its full size.
Yeah.
So negativity is
It's like a small fishbowl.
Yeah, negativity is the small fishbowl. It's everywhere you look. Like if that's your surroundings,
Yeah.
you can't expect to grow.
Well, it's crazy because like some of the people that, man, me being super transparent, I was letting into my life, I was just trying to be nice. I was just trying to help them out. And it's crazy that people will quickly take advantage of you being nice and get comfortable with me, with my kindness, and that sucks,
Yeah.
But
Well, it's tough because you're trying to do people favors. You're trying to be a positive force in people's lives where they may not have it anywhere else.
yeah,
And then you start making exceptions, almost like in your personal life. You'll make exceptions for people that you believe in, and you wouldn't do that in your business, right?
Yeah.
If there was like a listing agent and you're on the buyer side and they're being difficult or they're not meeting deadlines, you'd be like, no, like this is contractually obligated. Like you're obligated to do this.
Yeah.
Hold up your end or get the hell out.
yeah,
And then when it's in your personal life or it's people like trust and they're in your circle, you start making little tolerances and they start adding up over time.
yeah.
And then you're going, dude, I'm getting absolutely screwed here.
Man, I felt like a punching bag, man. And like, I did not want to become a person that is hateful and regretful and just start building this like resentment. And what I realized was I got to get rid of these people, and it sucks because these people were sort of close to me and hopefully they're not listening. I love these people, they're great people.
You can love people and not tolerate getting used.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like I was getting used, and, but it's just crazy. I had 8 closing 1 month. Right. And then this association starts happening and it just boom, closings like,
And you saw your results go with it.
and I was like, I wonder what's going on. Right. And then we separated ways amicably. Right. And then closing, contract, client. And I'm like,
could be coincidence, but probably not.
I know it could be coincidence, right? But it's just like, dude, the people I allow in my life, I've just over the years massively seen either negative or positive results, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to, even family members, man, even family members allowing their opinions to come in our life will affect our business. And then it will affect our results, and it will affect our legacy, and it will affect us having a positive impact on other people. And because, you know, family members have their own baggage, you know,
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and their energy towards what you're doing carries a lot more weight
Yeah.
because they are family.
And it
And
sucks because, like, sometimes when I have to sort of say, like, hey, I can't do that anymore, right? They think it's because, I mean, from past experience, they think it's because they think that I think I'm better than them, or I'm like, no, I have to value my time. I have to value my space, my boundaries. And if I don't, my bills will not get paid.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And I mean, how many times have we heard just over the years with varying team members, varying agents, my significant other doesn't believe in what I'm doing.
Oh man.
Are they, let me ask you something. Are they successful? No. We've years later still not doing anything. So it carries a lot of weight what people around you are doing. And if you need the cheerleader rah, we're here, man. That's what we're really good at, and we're here to help guide you. And negativity is just a bad thing, because I noticed that my mental capacity, I'm in probably one of the best like headspaces I've been in the last like 5 years.
And it's awesome to hear that, because you've got a kid coming in like a week or two, and you really gotta, I mean, 100. This is gonna sound weird coming out, but you got to be ready, dude, to be
it's challenging
to be a role model for Landon. And I hope I'm okay to say his name.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to be ready to be a role model for Landon, because he's going to be watching you even from day one.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, it's important, man, that you're not going to be there for all of his life, but for what time you are in his life, you've got limited time to make a massive impact on him.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think a lot of where I'm at right now is because you were talking about letting go of negativity, of people in your life that aren't serving you.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a really hard time with that, because I don't know, it's going to sound so stupid. It's such like a girl thing that's on like Tumblr or something, but I'm not the main character of everyone's story.
For sure.
Everyone's got their own shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got their struggles, their worries. And so when I wouldn't get not attention, but I didn't feel the reciprocated love,
Mm-hmm.
or like the value of my friendship or my efforts, I took it really personally. And so what I've done is accept the fact that, again, I'm not the main character.
Mm-hmm.
These people have their own stuff going on. So I'm gonna distance myself. I was so far into that friendship, that relationship, whatever it was. I was so vested in it, and they clearly weren't.
Yeah.
And so then I'm the only one getting hurt. And so I'm not doing myself any favors. So whenever I removed myself from it and I just accept it for what it is, it stopped affecting me. It stopped weighing on my mind. Like, oh, the person isn't responding. I'm doing stuff to show that I care, or that I this or that, and then it's not being reciprocated. And that if I let that fester, that's exactly what it does. And it grows bigger and bigger, and it takes up more real estate in my mind.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I've just completely let a lot of that go.
And how did you do that? Just growth, like over time?
I think so. I think I just hit a certain point where I think the epiphany was for me, if this is how it's going to be, why do I care? Why do I care so much? Like, if I can step away from it and free my mind of the negative impact it's having on me, like, how much better would I feel versus just continuing to try to do this thing that's not producing good feelings or good vibes or anything. It wasn't serving me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really know. There wasn't like a specific thing that happened or like a time that happened or like this limit that I hit. I think
It's crazy as men, or, not only men, but I feel a certain responsibility to protect my family based off of the decisions I make to let people in my life or push people out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because protecting my family is probably, whether it be financially, emotionally, financially and emotionally, that's a big burden.
Well, I noticed, right, when I was at a job that stressed me out and I had these people in my life who weren't reciprocating the respect of our friendship or the love, the effort, anything. It was my fishbowl. My fishbowl was really small.
Mm-hmm.
I got it at work. I got it in my friendships. I got it in my personal life. And so I was outwardly and noticeably more angry, more stressed whenever and it seeped into my positive relationships.
Yeah.
That's when it gets dangerous, is whenever I let what's going on these external factors affect the way that I talk to Katie, or affect the way that I talk to my mom or my dad, like anyone like that. And so I don't know, man.
That's a very mature thing to be aware of how other people's react to you and then think, okay, what's going on in their life, right?
Yeah.
Not the first, a lot of people get defensive very quickly and they're like, well, you know what, blah, 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 blah. And like, it's a very mature thing that when somebody comes on the offense, understanding why they're coming on the offense, right? And being like, I wonder what else is going on in their life.
There's something deeper rooted. Like they're not just mad at me. They're mad at something else going on too. Exactly. And that was me to a T. And I just, man, I think it was because you had mentioned like what happened to make that happen. I think it just kind of ran its course, because I think when relationships die, it's like the death of an actual person. Think of it kind of that way, because you go through grief of losing a friendship.
Yeah.
So I was sad in disbelief, angry for a very long time, and then you go through like acceptance, and then you move on.
Yeah.
And I think I'm finally in the acceptance and move on phase for losing what I thought was valuable friendships or valuable relationship, whatever it was, you know. Hard to be like kind of not specific about it, but I think people will relate to it. There's probably things in people's lives who are listening right now who they're identifying are bringing negative energy to them.
And right now, more than ever, if you're an agent, it's important to identify that quickly and address it quickly, because if you don't, you're going to be left, on the
It's
wayside.
going to drag at you. It's like an anchor that you carry around with you.
Yeah.
And how much faster can you run when you don't carry an anchor?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And some people it's going to hurt for sure. It's going to hurt bad. And sometimes it's going to take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, months, years to get over those relationships. But sometimes it's good to grow apart.
Yeah.
Well,
there's people that I'm still distantly friends with who I consider, who I thought I was very close with, and then went through this cycle of anger, detachment, like realization that I was not being valued in that way. Yeah. And again, it's not like I'm blaming, and I'm sure I'm not the only person, or I'm not trying to blame just them. There's other people. We're grown people. We all have shit going on.
Yeah.
And so naturally you just kind of drift apart in a lot of your relationships, your friendships and things like that. And so I can't get mad at that person that this happened. And so I'll remain friends with them, but I have now accepted the drift, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think one of the hardest things to do as a leader, that if you're leading 20, 30, 40, 50, even one person, is admitting that you need help, right? It's like, even when it comes to like, man, I'm having a hard time at home, or I'm having this and then this, it's hard as a leader, right? When you're every single day leading in front of hundreds, thousands of people saying, man, I need help,
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that a lot lately in some of the groups that I'm in, where people are like, man, sorry guys, I hate to admit it, but this and that and this is going wrong. And if you need help, ask, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it was really, you and I were talking about this very recently, a couple of days ago, just how I think that's what makes me extra fortunate and thankful and grateful for where I'm at right now, both in my business, in my personal headspace, is things are hard. Things are hard right now for everybody. I don't think I've ever seen, I personally, ever since I can remember being online, I've never seen so much, what's the word?
Hopelessness.
You took it out of my brain, I swear.
Yeah.
I was just about to say it, hopelessness. Yeah. And my heart breaks for those people. And I wonder what I can do, while still taking care of me, my family, my growing family. Yeah. But I empathize with people because things are hard. And so,
and I think that's like, God has put us in a position where we can lead others and bring hope, right? And then like offer value and continue to be a lighthouse of positivity for so many agents that are feeling like, where do I go?
Yeah,
like literally. And that's the thing is like, we're being a lighthouse and not a tugboat, because we're not going to ask you to ask us questions, right? We're not going to do the work for you, but we will be a lighthouse and say, hey, we're over here. This is what we're doing. This is how we're getting these results, right? But it's up to the people that are associated with us to actually do those things.
It's what I tell every single agent I talk to who is curious about what we've got going on. Every new member, even if they don't join with us, I'll tell them.
Where can people find you on Instagram?
At Jordan Sells ATX.
Yeah, and I'm at John Michael Perez on Instagram.
Go give us a follow.
Oh, there's a lot of agents recently that have been following us.
Yeah.
But we're here to help. Seriously.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
You've been telling agents.
I've been telling agents that wherever you're elite, wherever you go, right? No matter what brokerage you go to, no matter what system you sign up for, you have to do the work. I can give you all the tools, and if you don't care to use them, that's on you. I can't do it for you. Just like you said, I'll tell you how I'm doing my stuff right now. But I've also been doing it so consistently that I think that's why I'm kind of hitting this really nice stride going into next year.
And you can't really give someone consistency, right? You can tell them to be consistent, but you can't give it to them.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you give a lead, right? Or you give them a program to use. You can tell them and you can show them, but you can't give it to them.
Well, even like with our new agents, I tell them, I use my CRM. This is how I keep up with this and that. I just told you a tool that I use. If you use it, that's on you.
Yeah.
If you don't see the value in being able to see your database and where they're at and keep up with it and set reminders, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. Maybe you have a way that works best for you, but if you're, I don't know. I'm just really big in aligning yourselves with people who are doing what you want to be doing. And
have the results that you want to have, right? Yeah. Because people can do what you want, but they're like fake gurus. I've seen it a lot in the entrepreneurial world where they're like saying, you got to do this, this, and that, and I make $100,000 a month or whatever. And like in reality, they're like just talking, and they can't, they don't actually have results.
There's a lot of that. A lot of over promising and under delivering. I mean, if I'm a new agent right now, I want to align with someone who's doing deals, who's still doing it. I don't want someone who's coaching 50,000 people and thinking that I'm going to get some kind of individualized plan and attention.
Yeah.
I want to align myself with people who are doing what I'm striving to do and have the results.
I agree. Oh, you know what I hate? Very side note. I hate when people, and I made a Facebook post about this. I hate when people want you to succeed only if it benefits them.
Ooh. Yeah.
But as soon
did something inspire that?
Yes. But as soon as you succeed and it doesn't benefit them, they'd ask you to stop succeeding, or they don't want you to succeed. And it hurts because at the time of you succeeding and it benefiting them, they were your biggest cheerleader. And then as soon as it stops benefiting them, they ghost you.
Bro, I'm gonna need the tea off camera.
You already know the tea.
Do I? Okay.
Yeah. But it just sucks, man, because like some people, and you never know. Like we were talking about earlier, we don't know what else is going on in their life, right?
Well, it's a selfish world out there, man. There's not a lot of people that truly want to help benefit anyone but themselves. Mm-hmm. I think it's a sad thing. It's a sad reality of the world that we live in. Is it's always what have you done for me lately, versus valuing relationships. I think we've gotten a weird distance from genuine relationships. It almost makes you question how, like, I was listening to Theo Vaughn actually earlier, and he was talking about like him doing cocaine back in the day, and he was talking with Tucker Carlson, and they were like, the people that are like the genuine relationships in your life are like, who knows you at your ugliest, who knows you beyond your Instagram, who knows you, like, who knows the struggles you go through, who could you open up to about the ugly parts of your life. And that's your circle, like that. And I think we're seeing a very big decrease of what that circle looks like. Which sucks. But at the same time, like, we're putting in work to expand our circle, which is cool. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm really excited about, is that we're focusing on building genuine relationships. And whenever we do that, we get results. Mm-hmm. That's what a formula.
The formula is awesome because we want people to succeed, and if they succeed, full transparency, we do benefit, right? And so it's like, but even if they don't succeed, we still want them to succeed, right?
I've interviewed agents who have chosen to not work with me, and I still root them on.
Exactly.
And like
and you don't get pissed off. It's like, no, go win, man. Like, go win. It doesn't matter where you go. I want you to win. But it's just so funny. Like, there's several perspectives throughout this podcast that I'm talking about, like several stories as of recently. I'm rooting for somebody and they don't want to root for themselves. And then I'm investing in someone and they take advantage of me, right? Or whatever, but I still love on them. I still love them to this day, right? Like, I still love them. I'm not going to talk crap about them, even though I'm just talking about it on the podcast. They don't know. Nobody knows who it is. And then you've got this other perspective where somebody roots you on, you actually do succeed, but they only root you on when it benefits them, right? Mm-hmm. And so this other perspective that I was rooting someone on, they did not succeed. I still love them and I still pour into them, and they don't make anything of it. I still love them, but I do have to distance myself from them, right? That's very interesting.
Yeah. Well, just energies. Who's feeding into you? Who makes you feel good? I want to surround myself. Just, again, I feel like I like smoked ayahuasca. Do you smoke ayahuasca or do you drink it? I don't remember. I don't know.
But you're asking me? I don't smoke. What? No.
John's a huge ayahuasca. No, I'm just kidding. But I feel almost like this weird enlightenment of just trying to get positive energy around me, because I think I dwelled so much in negativity that now that I'm out of that space, I go, dude, I feel so much better. Like, what a life when you can not have that dragging you down. It makes me really like it.
It's long-term thinking and not short-term thinking, right? Like, you can make money quick, but can you make money long? And at the same time, like, this life is more than money. Like, money is extremely important. It's a tool that helps us get to the next thing, right? And it can actually help impact people in a massive positive way. But relationships are important too, right? Like, what's going on with people's kids? What's going on with people's emotions, right?
It's funny that you just mentioned that money is a tool, and I don't think a lot of people understand what we mean by that. One way that I can put it is that you have to have money to do good acts for others, because you have to make money to make yourself secure. Mm-hmm. And so, for example, you and I both own our homes. We have Teslas, we have nice cars, we have all these things. But I would say, and feel free to disagree here, I don't want to talk for you, but don't get me wrong, I love my Tesla. but I could also get from A to B in a much cheaper car.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing that a lot of people chase in their lives, because Tesla was my dream car and I got it. It doesn't necessarily fulfill me in a way that I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
So while I really love it, it's the best car I've ever owned.
Same.
I could live without it. Yeah. And I think we think that when we reach a certain point with money, we're going to buy this thing that truly makes us happy. Yeah. We're going to put ourselves in a situation that truly makes us happy. And I get more satisfaction from taking that money and thinking about, like, how can I help my parents have a good retirement?
Yeah.
How can I make sure that they never struggle? Little things like that. Like, I think your money can help be a tool that does good for others, and you have to make the money to do that.
Yeah.
But it's cool to have that option. People who do good often have, like, look at Mr. Beast, right? He just did 100 wells in Africa, which is insane. And isn't it funny? Did you see online that, like, he's getting backlash for that?
For doing 100 wells?
They're like, some other person is like, yeah, we've been doing this we've been trying to do this for like 10 years. And this white guy comes in and does it with all of his flashy money and this and that. And I'm like, you can build 100 wells in Africa and still have haters? That's crazy.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, the thing is he makes the money that he helps other people through YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to make videos. I mean, we talked about this before. He's like, I'm going to make videos to get a lot of views so that I can help a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, people just don't.
I think those, it goes back to, we talked about scarcity mentality.
Yes.
It's like, this person accomplished my goal. I'm not happy for them because it didn't serve me. Mm-hmm. Right. Instead of being like, hey, I've been trying to do this for 10 years. I'm so thankful you did this. You helped achieve the goal that we set out for. Instead, it was, this person did it. You know what I mean? Like, the perspective there.
Well, that same perspective is what we were talking about earlier, where, yeah, they wanted someone to succeed, but it didn't benefit them.
It didn't highlight them.
So it's not, yeah. It didn't highlight them. So
it wasn't them that got to do to be in the video, to be the finished product, exactly. The one that got the glory.
So that's why they're the hater, you know? All right, we're going to have to go ahead and wrap it up.
This was a good episode.
I know. First one in our home
What's
studio.
funny is, like, normally, just like for people listening, we have like a outline, like we'll have some main points and stuff. And like, we were just kind of spitballing this one. So
we were supposed to talk about YouTube strategies and social media strategies too. And we just started going into on emotional relationship.
We went on a therapy session, which is fine. I mean, it's real life. Honestly, I kind of am welcoming a refreshing break from real estate talk.
Yeah. But I mean, it's very aligned. You know, it goes very,
they go hand in hand.
Hand in hand for sure. Yeah.
So,
but if you like anything you hear on this episode, please let us know. I mean, it really means a lot. Please reach out to us on Instagram at Jordan Sells ATX and at John Michael Perez. But we really appreciate it, guys. We don't make any money from this, really. I mean,
no, we don't.
No. Hopefully one day.
We just shelled out a bunch of money to make this home studio. None of it was by something we got.
So. Oh yeah, that's all. That's so true. We've lost a lot of money doing this podcast, but it's cool because, you know, hundreds and hundreds and if not thousands of people are listening, and it's cool that we're pouring into people. One of these days it'll pay off.
Yeah. But, one way that's free that you can help support our podcast, which more people have been doing. I actually logged onto our Spotify and saw that we have like double-digit reviews, which is fantastic. So if you found any value in this, please, whatever platform you're listening on, leave us a review. Whether it's just a star rating, you don't have to gas us up at the comments or anything like that. But we're here to provide value. It's the mission since day one, and we're going to continue to do that. And now it'll be at a schedule that we can control and in an environment where we're not having to be salty in traffic for 50 minutes before we record.
That's so true. Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys. And
go be great in your local markets. We'll catch you in the next one. See ya.